Imagine vehicles so strange and daring they looked like something out of a science fiction movie. Yet, they were real. Today we're going to explore 7 UAZ prototypes that never made it to mass production, but reveal just how far Soviet engineering was willing to go. From experimental designs to ideas that defied all logic, these rare models will surprise you. Stick around until the end, because what you're about to see doesn't appear in any catalog. Let's get started. UAZ 456, the cargo vehicle that never was. The UAZ 456, created in the late 1950s, is an interesting project that never reached mass production but deserves recognition. Based on the GAZ-69, a classic Soviet off-road vehicle, this model was designed to meet a specific market need, a cargo vehicle capable of towing up to 2 tons. Its structure was perfectly suited for this role, with a 2.1-liter engine and all-wheel drive, features common in vehicles of its type. The most striking thing about the UAZ 456 was its ability to tow a trailer of up to 2 tons, which could have made it a key piece for light cargo transportation. In the 1960s, several prototypes were tested with different trailer types, and the vehicle proved effective under extreme conditions. However, the project never advanced beyond the experimental stage. At that time, the Soviet industry began producing cheaper, easier-to-manufacture trucks that fulfilled the same light cargo role, which made the UAZ 456 obsolete before it even reached the production line. Despite its potential, the UAZ 456 was forgotten, just one among many Autozavod experiments that never came to fruition. UAZ 469BN, the extended off-roader for the Ministry of Communications. The UAZ 469BN was a special version of the UAZ 469 designed to meet the needs of the USSR's Ministry of Communications. Unlike the standard model, this vehicle featured an extended wheelbase and a longer rear overhang, making it ideal for logistical tasks within the government structure. Only 2 units were built, and although its design wasn't particularly innovative in terms of looks, its modifications made it unique for its purpose. It was intended to transport more people or equipment, which made it useful both in military and civilian contexts. What's interesting about this prototype is that under different circumstances, the UAZ 469BN could have become a larger and more versatile version of the UAZ 469, even with seating for up to 7 people. However, it never got past the prototype stage. Although tested under various conditions, the model never entered mass production for unspecified reasons, though political and economic factors of the time are believed to have played an important role. In 1962, production was cancelled, and the UAZ 469BN faded into obscurity. Today, it survives only as a curiosity among Autozavod's failed projects. UAZ 451S, the off-road truck that turned into a snowmobile. The UAZ 451S is a fascinating example of Soviet innovation in transportation for extreme environments. In the late 1960s, Autozavod engineers set out to develop a vehicle that could transform into a snowmobile. This model was based on the standard UAZ, but came with a series of modifications that made it capable of handling the toughest winter conditions. The most impressive feature of this vehicle was its ability to transform into a tracked snow vehicle in under an hour. With skis mounted on the front axle and rubber tracks on the rear, the UAZ 451S could traverse deep snow with a ground clearance of 40 centimeters. In 1963, the first prototype went to testing, and the following year, 2 units were sent to explore the frozen lands of Siberia and the Komi Republic. The results were astonishing. The UAZ 451S could carry between 600 and 800 kilograms of cargo and reached speeds of 15 to 20 kilometers per hour on snow. Even on the toughest rural roads, it could hit 40 to 45 kilometers per hour. However, despite its successful trials, the project never moved to mass production. The lack of real demand and the arrival of simpler, cheaper vehicles prevented the UAZ-451S from becoming a practical solution for snowy regions. UAZ-3801, the first electric UAZ. In 1981, Autozavod took an innovative step by creating the UAZ-3801, an electric prototype based on the UAZ-451. This vehicle was the factory's first attempt to build an electric car and represented a significant technological advancement for its time. The UAZ-3801 was equipped with a 680-kilogram battery system hidden under the vehicle's floor, allowing it to run without an internal combustion engine. Its performance was notable. It could reach 70 kilometers per hour and had a range of 50 kilometers per charge. However, with the addition of a regenerative braking system, the range increased to 75 kilometers, which was impressive for an electric vehicle in the early 1980s. This model was one of the earliest attempts at electrification in the Soviet automotive industry. Despite its technological promise, the project was halted due to the economic difficulties of the late 1980s and the lack of resources to continue development. Only 65 units were produced, and by 1985, the project was definitively canceled. Although the UAZ-3801 never reached mass production, it remains a testament to the USSR's technological ambitions in a field that decades later would become increasingly relevant worldwide. UAZ-3909 Guar, the Soviet amphibian. The UAZ-3909 Guar was a truly bold project by the engineers at Autozavod, designed to operate both on land and in water. In 1976, development began on this model based on the UAZ-469, but with a series of modifications that turned it into an amphibious vehicle. Equipped with all-wheel drive, a watertight boat-shaped body, and a fully synchronized transmission, the UAZ-3909 GU-AR was prepared to take on extreme conditions. During testing, it surprised engineers with its buoyancy, managing to cross rivers and seas with ease, even with the doors open. It could reach up to 100 kilometers per hour on the road, although its 77-horsepower engine meant it took 36 seconds to reach 80 kilometers per hour at full load. The UAZ-3909 also showed great resilience in adverse weather conditions, withstanding storms of up to Force 2 on the Beaufort scale. Despite these impressive capabilities, the project was not profitable enough to continue. During the Perestroika era, funding was cut, and the model never reached mass production. The UAZ-3909 Guar remains a clear example of what might have been, but ended up filed away among the abandoned projects. UAZ-3909, a rest on wheels. The UAZ-3909, although not a major commercial success, had one interesting feature: a small sleeping space. This vehicle, designed as a light truck for cargo transport, included an extended cabin that allowed for a foldable bed measuring 1.78 meters in length. While not the most comfortable option, this space became a practical solution for drivers who needed to rest during long trips. In addition, the vehicle was designed to improve road stability and safety, with a longer wheelbase and suspension system modifications. Despite these improvements, the UAZ-3909 failed to gain popularity in the market. Its load capacity was limited to just 1 ton, and its fuel consumption of 18 liters per 100 kilometers was quite high for its time. The idea behind the vehicle was good, but the execution fell short of expectations. The UAZ-3909 never made it to mass production, remaining just a curiosity in the factory's archives. UAZ-2760 Stalker, the cargo prototype that failed to meet expectations. The UAZ 2760 Stalker, unveiled at the Moscow Motor Show in 2001, was a failed attempt to create a more modern and functional cargo vehicle. This model featured a cargo platform of 5 cubic meters, making it an appealing option for transporting light goods. However, its actual payload capacity was only 800 kilograms, which made it impractical for most industrial uses. On top of that, the cargo platform was covered with a glass structure, which added unnecessary weight to the vehicle. The UAZ 2760 Stalker was powered by a 98 horsepower turbo diesel engine, capable of reaching a top speed of 130 kilometers per hour. However, the vehicle suffered from 2 major flaws. Its engine was still under development, and its payload capacity was insufficient to meet the needs of commercial users. Despite these issues, the Stalker was built as a prototype and later stored in the factory museum. This model never reached mass production, remaining as one more example of Autozavod's ambitious but unsuccessful projects. If these UAZ prototypes surprised you as much as they did us, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss any videos about these giants of the road.